I always believed my fiancée, Emily, was the love of my life. We had been together for 5 years, building what I thought was a deep, unbreakable connection. She was everything I could have hoped for: intelligent, stunning, and caring. At least, that's what I used to think. I had never questioned her faithfulness and trusted her with all my heart. Little did I know that trust was about to be destroyed in the most devastating way imaginable. This is the story of how I discovered Emily's infidelity during her bachelorette party in Las Vegas, how I let her believe she'd gotten away with it, and how I completely shattered her dreams by canceling the wedding in a way she'd never forget. Emily and I first crossed paths in college. She was everything I had ever dreamed of in a partner: bright, witty, and incredibly compassionate. We started dating during our final year, and after we graduated, we moved in together. Over time, we built a life together, supporting each other through career transitions, financial struggles, and all the ups and downs life threw at us. When I finally proposed, it felt like the happiest moment of my life. We had spent years talking about our future, and now it was finally becoming a reality. She said yes with tears in her eyes, hugging me tightly and promising to love me forever. We poured months of effort into planning our wedding, perfecting every little detail. We secured our dream venue, curated an incredible guest list, and even planned a romantic honeymoon in Greece. I gave everything I had to ensure this day would be unforgettable. But looking back, I now realize that while I was busy building our future, Emily was secretly tearing it apart. A month before the wedding, Emily and her bridesmaids planned a trip to Las Vegas to celebrate her bachelorette party. I had no objections. I trusted her completely. She left for the trip brimming with excitement, promising to call and update me every night. True to her word, for the first 2 nights, she did. She sent me photos of their dinners, sightseeing excursions, and casino adventures. Everything seemed completely normal. But on the 3rd night, everything changed. She didn't call. No texts, no updates, nothing. I tried not to overanalyze it, convincing myself she was just caught up in the moment and enjoying herself. Still, a small, uneasy feeling crept into my mind. The next morning, I finally received a message. "Sorry, babe. We had a crazy night, and I passed out before I could text. Love you." That was it. No explanation. No pictures from the night before, just a vague excuse. Something about it felt off. I tried to shake the doubts away because I wanted to believe in her, but trust can be dangerous when placed in the wrong hands. When Emily returned home from Las Vegas a few days later, something was different about her. At first, I couldn't put my finger on it, but there was an undeniable change in how she acted. There was a hesitation in her demeanor, almost as if she were hiding something. When I asked how the trip went, her answers were generic and lacked enthusiasm. "It was fun," she'd say, or "the girls had a great time." But any time I brought up the 3rd night, the night she went silent, she seemed nervous and avoided giving any real details. I tried not to press too hard, not wanting to come across as suspicious or paranoid. But then, fate took matters into its own hands through an unexpected source. Her best friend and bridesmaid, Rachel. Rachel and I had always gotten along well. She was straightforward, funny, and absolutely terrible at hiding her emotions. One afternoon, about a week after their trip, Rachel came over to help Emily finalize the seating arrangements for the wedding. While Emily was busy in the kitchen, Rachel offhandedly remarked, "I still can't believe what happened in Vegas." Time seemed to stop. My chest tightened as I carefully asked, "What happened in Vegas?" Rachel's face went pale, realizing she'd said too much. She let out a nervous laugh and quickly tried to change the subject, but it was too late. Her reaction confirmed that something significant had occurred, and I was determined to uncover the truth. That night, I decided I wouldn't rest until I found out exactly what had happened, as Emily slept peacefully beside me. I did something I never thought I would, something I could never have imagined myself doing. I picked up her phone. Her messages were spotless, too spotless. It seemed as if she had erased everything. But then, I went into her hidden photo album, and that's when my world shattered. There, staring back at me, were videos. They showed a private hotel suite, loud music, and Emily dancing on top of a man who was most certainly not me. There were shots being taken, clothes coming off. It was as clear as daylight. She had cheated. She had lied. She had destroyed everything we had. I sat frozen in the dark, my body shaking uncontrollably. My entire future, everything I had built, had just been torn apart in the worst way imaginable. But instead of confronting her, instead of waking her up to scream or hurl accusations, I smiled. Because in that moment, I knew exactly what I was going to do. Emily had no idea I had seen those videos. For the next few weeks, I acted like nothing had changed. I kissed her, told her I loved her, and played the role of the devoted fiancé. But behind the scenes, I was making my moves. I quietly reached out to all the wedding vendors and canceled every single arrangement without her knowing. I gathered all the evidence and sent it to her parents, her bridesmaids, and even her boss. I prepared the most unforgettable wedding speech that anyone had ever heard. Then the big day came. Emily walked around, glowing with excitement, completely unaware of the storm that was about to hit. The guests arrived, the menu was set, and the ceremony was moments away from beginning. That's when I took the microphone. Silence fell over the room as I stood at the altar, smiling at Emily. Before we begin, I said, I want to share a little story. Emily smiled nervously, likely thinking I was about to give a heartfelt romantic speech. A few weeks ago, my beautiful fiancée went to Vegas for her bachelorette party. She had an unforgettable night. So unforgettable, in fact, that she forgot to tell me about it. A murmur spread through the crowd. Emily's smile vanished. I pulled out my phone, tapping the screen. Behind me, a projector hummed to life, and in front of every single guest, the videos started playing. Emily's face went pale. Gasps filled the room. Her mother began to cry, and her father's face turned a deep shade of red with rage. Ladies and gentlemen, I said, this wedding is officially canceled. Emily, I hope you and the guy from Vegas have a wonderful life together. I dropped the microphone and walked away. For weeks, Emily bombarded me with calls, texts, voicemails, and emails, but I ignored them all. Her parents disowned her. Her friends turned their backs on her. The man from Vegas? He disappeared too. Emily lost everything. As for me, I moved on. I found someone better. I built a life that was free from lies. Because the best revenge isn't anger. It's making them realize they destroyed their own life. And Emily? She'll never forget the day I exposed her for the whole world to see.